Hello and welcome to Castle for One Games. I am George Castle and today I'll be playing Valkyrie. Well, it's Moon with the expansion of Valkyrie. This is my second video of Moon. I already posted the base game where I played the first era against the solo AI opponent, GURPS. And I was going to provide this video to complete that playthrough, but I figured I have the expansion, I might as well cover both. So here we are. So if you haven't seen my previous video, I recommend you watch the first one. I'll add a link to the description below. Alright, and since GURPS is the main attraction here, I will make sure to fast forward during decision sections of my turns to get to the good stuff. As usual, I will type up some comments for any errors during the game, but if you see any mistakes, please feel free to add them in the comment section below. Other than that, let's rock! So, welcome to the setup. The setup is the same as in the base game, except now with the expansion, you're going to add this launch board, which basically consists of spaces where you can land your Valkyrie to gain rewards and points. Then you add 3 Valkyrie expansion draw stacks as seen here, one for each era, which are basically structure cards but with some added boost. You will now add 1 Valkyrie to your player area, but no Valkyries for GURPS. You will add the remaining Valkyries next to your launch board. And that's the setup. So let's start by explaining what the Valkyrie expansion adds to the game. As for the player, you get 1 Valkyrie for the duration of the game, and it works just like a rover, only you get that one back automatically at the end of each era, if you got a chance to use it. You can only use one of the vehicles per turn. That means either a rover or your Valkyrie. Once you use your Valkyrie, however, that's it until the next era. And these spaces on the launch board represent the rewards that you can gain. However, you have to start from the leftmost spot and work your way up. The first space, well, you get no rewards, but the one right next to it, that one gives you a rover. The third spot, you gain a resource of your choice. The fourth spot gives you a flag of your choice to be used right away, so make sure to have something to build this turn. And finally, the last spot gives you 2 resources of your choice. But this board isn't just about giving you rewards. You can also use it to purchase an expansion structure card. And you can even use the rewards you gain from the launch board towards the purchase of your expansion structure cards, which will be added during the construction phase of each era on top of the launch board. If you choose the Valkyrie, it means you are ready for some much needed rewards and or you are ready to purchase an expansion structure card. And the best part of all this is that it counts as a free action, so you can still build or assimilate as usual. Now, GURPS, however, doesn't have to decide to use a Valkyrie or a rover. Once the dreaded Adjust Vehicles card comes out, it will use both vehicles every time. One for the launch board, and the other is just regular normal rules like we use the rover. So what happens if GURPS uses its Valkyries? Well, it will take up the spaces from the launch board and take out all opportunities for you to receive any of those rewards. And it will also take out some of those expansion structure cards randomly. So if you don't use your Valkyrie soon, those structure cards and bonuses will be gone. All right, we're going to move on to the construction phase, or as I like to call it, the turn display setup. And it works as normal base game setup, only now we will add the expansion structure cards to the top of the launch board, drawing those 3 top cards from each era. In this case, it's era 1, so we're going to remove the first 3 from the stack and place it on top of the launch board, face up. And as you can see, we have the Meteor Magnet, the Beef Trees, and the Acme. Next, we're going to move on to our stack from era 1. We're going to separate our era expedition cards and put up our draw stacks as we've done in the past. All right, there we go. We are now going to move to the production phase, and that means that I'm going to produce or starting the game with a metal token, thanks to my production side of my base. There we go. As for GURPS, it would have started with this energy token, but GURPS doesn't get any tokens or any production throughout the remainder of the game. All right, we're going to move on to the turn phase, and I will go first, as usual. We will start with the first stack here of the Era 1 with the Era 1 Expedition card. Let's take a look. Hyped Expedition. You gain, and I need to be careful, that word, gain means I receive those hearts. You gain 1 heart for each flag you're currently winning. Well, I'm currently winning on that house flag. So, let's take a look. All right. This one gives me a science flag, and GURPS has a science flag. So, at least I'll tie it. It requires a metal token, so I'll go ahead and place that here, and we'll spend the metal token. Now, there is one thing we need to consider. Put these aside, and that is the meteor magnet requires a science flag. So I'm working towards that, and you need 2 metal tokens, which I have 1 for the production, but I've got to get that before GURPS gets it. We also have beef trees. This one I definitely need to get, because beef tree says when you're tied, here, let me bring this up. When you're tied for flag rewards, rovers are ignored and you win the tie. That is a must for me, because I'm tired of having to deal with the rovers every time GURPS beats me in that. Acme, copy the production of another of your blue cards, like that. And all of these also, if I wanted to assimilate later on, give me a rover as well. So those are very tempting. We've got to keep in mind. This one, though, does require a biomass token, and it requires a food flag, which I don't have yet. But I'm currently winning in 2 flags. So I'm going to go back to this hyped expedition. You gain a heart for each flag you're currently winning in. I'm not winning in this science flag because we're tied in rovers. And the Valkyrie has nothing to do with ties. So I'm just going to get that housing flag. I'm going to tip this over, and I'm going to go ahead and reward myself my first heart. And there we go. Now over to GURPS. And it says, GURPS gains 1 heart for each gold reputation card that has not been claimed or discarded. Currently we have 3 reputation gold cards that have not been claimed or discarded. So GURPS is going to receive 3 hearts, or 3 points. And there we go. And it's now going to have 2 science flags. So apparently GURPS heard that I was working towards that, and now he's beating me. Over to my turn. Let's take a look and see what we have on the, okay, Enthusiastic Expedition. You may place 1 heart on each of your unflipped pink cards. If the cards are flipped, the hearts go to the supply. I like that a lot. All right. All right. I like the obelisk. I always go with the obelisk because I didn't see anything else that I was very interested in this hand particularly. However, the obelisk is going to allow me to play a different stack twice. So there might be something more appealing. So let's go ahead and go with this. And it's free. So I'm going to place it over here. And actually, we're going to move all these things over to the left because I'm going to need some space to place my settlement over here on the right. All right. And actually, we don't even need this era anymore. So that'll give us a little bit more room. All right. And that is it for my turn. I'm going to go ahead and tilt this over to GURPS. All right, GURPS, what do you got? Of course, adjust vehicles already. Oh, that's not good. And it's got a food flag as well, so that's good for GURPS. And now we're going to do the adjust vehicles. And as you may recall, we are tied in rovers. So right now, GURPS is going to receive a rover, and it's going to be added from the general supply onto GURPS supply. So now GURPS has 3 rovers to my 2. And now it's going to take one of the Valkyrie from this board, and it's going to land it on the first available space to the left. There's no rewards, nothing there, so I'm not too worried about. It's not blocking me anything yet. However, now it's going to take one of those cards that I was really hoping to get. So we're going to go with the trusty dice again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Please don't beef trees. 5. It'll take the Acme. Phew. I'll take that. I don't mind. That one is gone. Out of the game. Now we really got to focus on this. So that obelisk has to help me to get that beef trees or the meteor magnet. All right, my turn. Let's see what we got. Gain one resource of your choice. Oh, yeah. I just need another biomass. So hopefully, let's take a look and see what we have. All right, I don't have anything that is value for that beef trees right now. But this excavator is going to give me that metal token. Plus, I'm going to get a metal token from gaining this. There's the 2 metal tokens I need for that meteor magnet. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll place my card here. And now I have another metal token. Move these out of the way. Hopefully they're not completely out of view. All right, there's my metal token. And now I'm going to take another metal token thanks to this resourceful expedition. And there we go. We have the 2 metals to go for our meteor. Now, I can immediately take my Valkyrie, but I can no longer use my rover this turn. So let's go ahead and do it. We're going to take our Valkyrie. We're going to land it over there. And the beauty is now this space is available. It's the leftmost space, and it gives me a rover. So I'm going to take a rover from the general supply, and it's going to go into my supply. And now I'm tied with GURPS 3-3. And I do get to meet the requirement for the meteor magnet. I have the 2 metal tokens, and I have a science flag. Thank goodness I picked that earlier. Now, what does it do? Take 2 resources of your choice. So every time I flip this, I'm going to get any 2 resources that I need at the time. So this is going to go into my settlement. And I'm going to go ahead and pay for the meteor magnet. There goes my 2 metal tokens. And I can flip this right away. I can use the resources if I need to, but I'm not going to do that just yet. So let's go ahead and finish our turn. Let's go over to GURPS. All right, GURPS, what you got? All right, GURPS scores 1 heart for each flag it's currently winning in. Well, it's currently winning in 2 flags, the food flags and the science flag, by just 1. So we'll go ahead and give GURPS 2 hearts. Now GURPS has got 5 hearts on me. We'll place this here, and it's got an industry flag, so it's getting a little bit crowded now with all these flags out. All right, now over to me, my last turn. Let's take a look. If you park a rover, score 1 heart. Sounds good to me. I may have to do that. All right, we're going to go with this road card so that we can go ahead and start getting more flags above GURPS. And do we want anything from the obelisk? I don't have an energy token. I would like to produce some energy tokens, however. Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and go with this solar panel. Get some energy, some resources, so we're not needing them later on. All right, so there we go. We get our energy token. Put it over here. And now we've used our obelisk. We're going to go ahead and place it on our hand. Flip this over. That's the end of our turn. I'm going to regret taking that obelisk so early, but let's see. At least I'm getting some pretty good flags. I'm not falling too far behind. GURPS, what do you got? GURPS scores 1 heart for each resource type you don't produce. Oh boy. Well, I don't produce water or the biomass. And yeah, pretty much. So let's go ahead and give GURPS 2 hearts. And it's going to get a housing flag and a transportation flag. GURPS is all over the place. I shuffled. Why am I not getting any production cards here? I'm getting nothing but flags. All right. So that's 1, 2. And now we have 3. Let's go ahead and flip one over. There we go. All right, that is the end of our turn phase. We're going to move over to the acquisition phase, and GURPS is going to take 2 things. One will be one of these stacks, And the second will be one of these reputation cards, which I failed to look over. Let's see, we have specialized, have 2 identical blue structure cards. Take 1 heart whenever you park a rover. Early adopter, have 1 flipped pink structure card. And the ongoing, these are all ongoing abilities too. You may park rovers on occupied parking spaces. I like that one. And take X hearts for each flag reward you win during the scoring phase. Yeah, let's see what GURPS is going to take. But first, let's figure out which stack GURPS is going to take. So I hope it doesn't take. I think that's where I put my obelisk. I hope it doesn't take that one. So the last card played, this one right here, it's going to be number 1. Ooh, that was close. All right. So it will take my first stack, which means we're going to be missing out on this hyped expedition. That's the only way I was getting hearts right now. Yeah, it had some pretty good resources, but I really would have liked that. All right, so that's out of the game now permanently, and we are left with 3 more turns in this era. The second thing that GURPS is going to remove is one of the reputation cards. Which one? Well, it depends on this dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that pink, have 1 pink structure card. I would have gotten it because I just got that meteor magnet. Oh well. There goes that one. All right, that is the end of the acquisition phase. We are now going to move to the final turn phase, and we're just going to flip these back. It is my turn. Let's see what we got here. You may place 1 heart on each of your unflipped pink cards. If the cards are flipped, the hearts go to the supply. So I'm going to get 1 unless I get, there's see, nope, no more. That's it. That's the only one for this hand. So let's go ahead and do that before I forget. So place 1 heart for this one right here. Oh, whoops. Flip that over to a 1. And there we go. Now once I flip it, I'll be able to get that back onto my supplies. Boy, if I would have picked the obelisk, I could have gotten this biomass and this card. I should have kept it. Oh well. I'm going to go ahead and go with the junkyard. I like my resources to be wild, so let's go ahead and pick that card. Now it's going to require an industry flag, which I don't have, but guess who has it? GURPS. So we're going to go ahead and place that here. I'm going to take my rover, send it over to GURPS. And here's the industry flag card that I'm going to place my rover on. And now I qualify for that card. Oh, and I'm going to get my resource token. All right, I'm going to go ahead and choose a water token. I would pick the biomass token, but I just realized I don't have another Valkyrie. I only get 1 Valkyrie per era. I will get that Valkyrie back at the end of this era, but by then we'll be moving over to the era 2 cards. So that was my only chance. So that pretty much completes my turn. I would flip this, but I'm not sure if there's anything I want to purchase yet. So let's go ahead and tilt this over. Now we're going to go over to GURPS. All right, GURPS, what do you got? GURPS scores the value of all the hearts placed on your cards. Great. So it's going to score 1 heart because of that heart I have on top of my meteor magnet. I'm going to place that here. And now we're going to give 1 heart to GURPS. There you go, GURPS. All right. And now it is my turn. We're going to pick the next stack. Let's see what we got here. Gain 1 resource of your choice. All right. We're going to see if there's anything we need. All right, we're going to go with the food truck because it gives me 2 different flags. It'll tie GURPS on both these flags in hopes that I can get another rover before the end of this era. It is going to require a biomass token, which I do not have, but I also don't want to give GURPS one of my rovers. Actually, GURPS doesn't even have any of those. So the only choice I have is to flip this. So we'll go ahead and take this heart, move it over to my supply, and we're going to flip this over and get 2 resources of my choice. And of course, we're going to go with a biomass token, and I'm going to go with a metal token just to keep it different there. All right, so we'll go ahead and gain that one, and I do have the housing flag right there. All right. All right, that's the end of my turn. Go ahead, Flip this over. And now over to GURPS. All right, GURPS, what do you got? GURPS scores 1 heart for each flag it's currently winning in. All right. All right, now it says it's currently winning in. That includes counting any of these rovers for any ties. So right now we are tied in the food flag. So the rovers that he has, which is 4, breaks that tie. So GURPS will receive a heart for that food flag. It will also receive another heart for the science flag, and it will receive another heart for the industry flag, and finally it will receive another heart for the housing flag. The only flag it's not beating me in is that transportation flag. So let's turn these in for some bigger hearts. 10, so he's got 12 points on me. All right. So that one was a pretty good card for GURPS anyway. All right, back to my turn, and let's see what we have here. All right, the Gearhead Expedition. If you park a rover, score 1 heart. Let's see if we need it. All right, we're going to go with Obelisk again and see if we can't bring this over to Era 2. It's going to hurt me a little bit because we're about to go to end of era scoring, but I don't have anything else that's going to be more valuable at this time. And I won't be able to take advantage of the Gearhead Expedition. So that's the end of my turn. And now over to GURPS. GURPS, what do you got? Discard a random, discard a random reputation card. Bronze if it's era 1. Yeah, it's era 1. It's going to take one of my reputation cards. Let's place this here. That's now 3 science flags. Boy, I shuffled. I don't know how I'm only getting all these yellow cards. But anyway, let's go ahead and see which one of these reputation cards. And by the way, you can get any of these reputation cards at any time during any era, but they are a little bit trickier to get. But GURPS will only take the Era 1 first row for the bronze. So let's see which one he's going to take with my dice. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 2, so it will take the one leftmost. And there goes my specialized. I was trying to get a second blue, identical blue structure card, but I couldn't find it. All right, so that one's out of the game. We only have this one left to get. That's easiest to get anyway. Have 3 or more of one flag type. Now we could get this diversified if we started to invest. It says have 1 or more of all 5 flags. Actually, I do have 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we're 1 away, so we could get that very soon. We just need, which one do we need? We need an industry flag, and then we'll be able to get that one. This one says have 3 or more flipped pink cards, only have 1. And this one says 20 hearts on your supply. I only have 2, so this is probably the closest I'm going to get. And I'm not even going to look at those. Those are a lot more expensive. So that will end the final turn phase. And now we're going to move to the ending construction phase. All right, so now we are on the ending construction phase. And basically what that does is it removes all of the remaining cards from the display. So all of my stacks here have been taken out. I have taken the expedition cards from Era 1. They are out of the game. All that remains are the structure cards. I shuffled them, so they'll be good for the next era. I've also removed all of the rovers from our cards. GURPS has 4 rovers, and I have 2, so GURPS will be beating me on any tied flags, which currently we are tied with the housing flag. So it will beat me on the housing flag as well. And the one step added during this construction phase, end of construction phase, is to take back the Valkyrie. So I get that back into my play area, and then this Valkyrie gets put back onto the stack here. We remove, unfortunately, the beef trees, which would have been amazing to get. That is taken out of the game permanently as well. So now we are left with Era 2 and Era 3, Valkyrie Expansion structure cards. All right, that ends that phase. We will now move to the end of era scoring. Here's where we start to go through the flag reward board. We're going to start with the industry flag, and of course, GURPS is beating me in the industry flag, so GURPS will take the first heart from that board. Next is the industry. It's beating me 3-1, so it's also going to get that one. The housing flag, we are tied, but GURPS has more rovers than I. Breaks the ties. If I would have had the beef trees, I would have been able to, well, maybe nobody would have gotten any. So the food flag, right now we are tied. Again, rovers beat mine. And finally, the transportation flags, I do beat GURPS by 1 on the transportation flag. So that one is mine. At least I got 1. All right, and that is the end of the rewards section of our board. The next one is any hearts placed on the cards. Now, I did have a heart placed on this pink card. Unfortunately, I flipped it, so that heart went to my supply. So I will not gain anything. And GURPS doesn't have any hearts on any of its cards, so it will not receive any as well. And finally, we will remove any X value. We are now down to 2 hearts. I'll just place it here so you can see that there's 2 hearts. And there's that one removed from the game. And now going forward, it'll only be worth 2 hearts. And that's the end of the era scoring. We are now going to move back to the turn display setup. Only this time we will use the era 2 stack and set it up. All right, next we're going to refill all of these hearts back up with the number 4 hearts under each of these. All right, so we're going to move to the turn phase. It'll be my turn. So let's take a look. What we have here, you may purchase a rover for 2 hearts. We'll think about that one. All right, because I want the reputation card that requires 3 pinks, we're going to use the obelisk. Let's see if we've got enough resources to purchase both of these. Actually, before we do that, I probably should go for that earth portal now before I start wasting some of my resources and forget all about it. So we're going to use our Valkyrie. We're going to park it over. And yes, it'll take the empty spot. I don't get any reward, unfortunately, but I have to move in the leftmost empty space, and that's it. I am going to now purchase the earth portal, and that's going to cost me 2 water tokens, a metal token. I have the flag requirements. We're going to move that over here. I'm going to pay with my 2 water tokens and my metal. Now my metal turns into 2. This is the second one. All right, that's paid. And now it's mine. Now, 1 wild flag counts as any flag for flag requirements. In the beginning of each scoring phase, you must assign the wild flag to 1 flag type for scoring. And now, we're going to continue our turn. And now I'm going to focus on the reputation card. So let's go ahead and get our own water tokens. We'll spend a energy token. And we're going to get our 2 water tokens back that we just spent. Spend the energy token now. And that's our turn. Let's go ahead, and I did not purchase any more rovers. I'm okay with that. We'll get that next time. Tilt. Now over to GURPS. Adjust vehicles. There we go. So GURPS is going to, let's go ahead and just do the Valkyrie first. So it'll land on to the next spot. It will take the next card. 1, there is already been taken, so we'll roll it again. A 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll take the middle. This one has gone out of the game as well. And then we've got to use the rover. Now, GURPS is beating us in rovers. So what it'll do is it'll take the rover and take it over to my side. And it'll go with sorry, the blue card, the topmost blue card. So that's going to be my 2 water tokens. That's okay. All right, now my turn. All right, add 1 heart to each of your reputation cards. I don't have any reputation cards. However, that reminds me, do I meet any of the requirements for a reputation card? Let's go and check it out. This one says I need 3 or more of 1 flag. I needed 1 more. I needed that transportation flag. All right. Next is, do I have all 5? I do not. I need the industry flag. So that's not going to help. I need 3 of those. That's not going to help either. I can't afford anything. All right. So let's go ahead and choose a card that we want. All right, we're going to go with the magma pump to get some more resources. So I'm not missing out on anything. I do need the industry flag. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my rover, park it over to GURPS. I now meet the requirement, and I'm going to gain my energy token, and I'm going to gain another metal. We just flip this one over and take this one out, and there we go. All right, and that is going to be the end of my turn. Unfortunately, I couldn't take advantage of that expedition card. All right, over to GURPS. GURPS, what do you got? GURPS, you have produces 1 bio. All right, add X hearts to one of the flag rewards GURPS is currently winning. All right, so we're going to add it to the flag that it's currently winning. It is currently winning in many flags, but it says 1 of the flags. So I'm going to choose the flag that I want to have him receive. X value is 2 hearts, so we're going to add 2 hearts to one of the flag rewards GURPS is currently winning. So GURPS is currently winning in the science flag, and I just saw a card that gives 2 science flags, so I'm going to go with the science flag. All right, so we're going to add 2 hearts to the science flag, and there we go. And now over to me. All right, you may take a rover parked on one of your structure cards to your supply. So that one is going to go to my supply. That was easy. Yeah, this is something I just can't refuse. This is really good. 3 different flags. Water token, I got the house. Let's go ahead and take that. We'll pay the water token. And now I'm almost tying them with the science flags. I'm beating it in the food flag, and I'm 1 away from getting them on the industry flag. However, I now meet the requirement to get the reputation card that I wanted, which is this one right here. Have 1 or more of all 5 flag types. That's what I have. And it says place a heart on this for each of your yellow structure cards. All right, I'm going to put this here. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to place 5 hearts on that card. 5. And just in case, I was making sure it says including base. So there you go. Now is the time to use the obelisk, because I need to start to get this industry flag. I'll be beating GURPS by 1. So let's pay the 2 metal tokens. This turns into a 1. And now I have the factory. All right. And that will do it. Now the reputation card says have 3 or more of 1 flag type. I have 3 of the industry. However, I already took my reputation in this round, or in this turn, so I'm going to have to wait for the next turn. Hopefully GURPS doesn't take it from me. All right, and let's go ahead and put this back in our hand. The turn is now over, and I think I'm making a mistake. I'm not using that. I need to flip it and get some resources. All right, that's the end of my turn. over to GURPS. All right, GURPS says one food flag, yep, and one industry, and now it's got an adjust vehicles, so it will take another Valkyrie. It will cover that, take the last one. That one's out of the game. And then we'll take the rover because it has 4 rovers to my 2. So now it'll take it from its supply and it will take it to the yellow top flag of my settlement. But the industry flag just tied me, so must be nice. All right, and that is its turn. It is now mine. Discard a resource to score 1 heart. Yeah, I could do that, especially since I could get some more. Let's go ahead. Well, let's see if there's anything else we need. Yep, we're going to go with the embassy because it says if you flip this, you can build your structure card for free this turn. Flag requirements still apply, but at least I won't have to spend any resources. You never know when this might come in handy. So let's go ahead and get this one. It requires 2 housing. Here's the downfall. I only have 1 housing. Oops. Let me put this here. So that means, actually what I was going to say is I was going to use this rover to place it on GURPS's card so that I can have that second house to get the embassy. But I keep forgetting there's an Earth portal. This one allows me to have a wild flag. So I now have the 2 houses that I need to grab that, to purchase that embassy, and I don't have to use my rover. So thank you, Earth portal. So that'll be the end of my turn. Go ahead and put this here. Tilt it. That's the end of this phase for me. Over to GURPS. All right, GURPS, what do you got? All right, it says add a X hearts to one of the flag rewards GURPS is currently winning. So that is 2 hearts because that's the value of the X on here. So 2 hearts on one of the flags that's currently winning. Now it's not winning on the industry flags because not only are we tied on industry flags, we're also tied in rovers. All right, so it's beating me in the science flag, so I'm going to have to use that one. I'm going to place the 2 hearts on the same flag. So now there's 4 flags on top of the 4 hearts, so there's 8 total. And this goes back up top. It now has 2 transportation flags to my 2, so we're tied in transportation flags. All right, that completes the turn phase. We are now going to move to the acquisition phase. So which stack is GURPS going to remove? Well, let's take a look. This was the last card that GURPS played. It is the number 2. So it will remove the number 2 draw stack from my turn. Let's see what I'm going to miss out on. Add 1 heart to each of your reputation. Now that I have a reputation, that would have been helpful. A couple of good flags. So this was a good stack. We're going to lose that out, completely out of the game. Now it's going to take out the second row because we are in era 2, and it's going to try to take one of these 2 away from me. Which one? Let's roll that dice. That's going to be the far right because that is a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's gone, and it would have given me 3 rovers, so that would have been helpful. That is gone out of the game now, and get this out of the way. And that's the end of the acquisition phase. We are now going to move to the final turn phase of era 2. All right, so I went ahead and fixed up our stacks, nice and neat. And now we're going to enter the final turn phase, the last 3 turns of era 2. And actually, I just realized I forgot to pay for my embassy a couple of turns ago. There's the biomass token. Here it is. I'm going to pay for it. Now we can go ahead and get started. Here's my first stack. So we got mechanized expedition. You may purchase rover for 2 hearts. Not sure if that's worth it yet. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go with this food court. X hearts per food flag. So when I flip this, I'll get 2 hearts for each of my food flags. I have 2, so I can actually get 4 points right now. And then next era, I'll only get 2, but I think that's still a pretty good amount of scoring there. Plus, I'm getting 1 closer to that reputation card. So let's go ahead and do that. Put it here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pay for my water token here. So let's go ahead and flip this food court and get those 2 hearts. Actually, it's 2 times the 2 food court or food flags. That's 4 hearts right now. Here we go. Whoops. So there's my 4, and that ends my turn. So let's go ahead and turn this and go over to GURPS. What do you got, GURPS? All right, GURPS places 2 hearts on their base. All right, so let's go ahead and place 2 hearts on their base. And actually, let's go ahead and flip these so we can have more hearts. There's to 20, 24 hearts to my 9. All right, and now we're going to add the 2 hearts on top of this base. So we'll just put it on here. There's 1 and there's 2. All right, back over to me. All right, let's take a look. You may take a rover parked on one of your structure cards to your supply. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and do that now. We are still tied 3-3. Put that here. All right, and then, all right, I'm going to go ahead and take the obelisk. It's free, and I have a feeling there's a better stack coming up here very soon. So we'll go ahead and get that one. And now, so that's going to be 1 flipped. I need to flip these other 2 before I can claim that reputation. I don't think I'll be able to do it in this era. It might not be until the next era. However, let me see what we have on the other one. Have 3 or more of 1 flag type. I do have 3 or more of 1 flag type. I have 3 industry, so we can go ahead and claim this. The ongoing ability is take X hearts for each flag reward you win during the scoring phase. Yes, please. We'll go ahead and place that here. Make some room. All right, and make some room over here. All right, now our turn's over, so we can go ahead and place this over here. Over to GURPS. All right, GURPS, what do you got? Adjust vehicles. So the first thing we'll do is just place a Valkyrie just out of habit. And then it will, let's see, it's tied, so it will grab a rover and place it on its supply from the general supply. All right, so here's the rover. And now it is beating me in the transportation flag as well. So that's not good. All right, over to me. Let's see. Discard a resource to score 1 heart. Yeah, we could. Let's see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get the metal token. Discard a resource to score a heart. So I'll go ahead and remove that. I'm going to score my heart. All right, there's my heart. And actually, let's go ahead and switch these out. Now I have 12. Yeah, I really like this faculty because it's going to give me these 2 science flags that I can actually beat GURPS in, and there's a lot of hearts on that board. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. And there goes the rest of my resources. 2 tokens, energy tokens are gone. I could use the obelisk, but I just used I just used that. However, let's go ahead and flip this embassy. That'll make this diner free. So yeah, flip the embassy, and that makes it one more flip towards that reputation card. I can use the obelisk to go ahead and purchase this diner. I no longer have to pay. I still have to meet the flag requirement, which I do. I do have the food flag. So let's go ahead and purchase that. And now I'm going to produce 2 hearts. That is a pretty sweet deal. The obelisk goes back in my hand. And let me go ahead and add my 2 hearts for my immediate production there. And now let's go ahead and Put these back. We are done with our turn. It is now back to GURPS. GURPS, what do you got? GURPS places 2 hearts on their base. Boy, GURPS is taking advantage of that now. It's going to get 2 more hearts. So there we go. I'll put those 2 just to make it a little bit easier to see. All right, that ends the final turn phase. We will now move to the ending construction phase. Here we go. All right, we've got everything set up. We have the cards are unflipped, and we have the Valkyries back where they belong on the board. I got my Valkyrie back. All the Rovers, well, I didn't have any on my cards, but GURPS did have one. It is now on its supply. It is now beating me 4-3. So I will be able to compete on flags nonetheless because of this Earth Portal. But one thing we have to keep in mind is that the Earth Portal, I can only claim 1 flag for the duration of the whole scoring. So it's not like I can go 1 flag after another and keep winning in flags. So keep that in mind. All right, so all I have to do is decide which flag I want it to be. All right, we're going to enter the end of scoring phase. And as you may recall, anything that's on this board will be rewarded. So let's start with the first flag, which is the industry flag. And currently, GURPS has 3. I have 3. We are tied. And GURPS has 4. I have 3. GURPS will win that flag. However, because I want to use my Earth Portal, I'm going to claim that this symbol actually is an industry flag, and now I am beating GURPS 4-3, and the Rovers mean nothing because I'm beating it in that flag, so that is going to be mine. Sorry, GURPS. There's my 4 points, and now we're going to move to the next flag, and GURPS has 3 science flags. I have 4 science flags, and I did that focusing hard on that flag because I knew it was going to be a strong reward. There are 8 points to be had here, so those are mine now. All right, here are my 4 points, and here are my other 4 points. And now I'm just going to switch out all these hearts anyway to some higher value hearts. All right, I came with 26 points so far on hearts to GURPS 24 points. So it's still pretty tight, although it's got a lot of hearts on the cards and the printed value as well. All right, so next we're doing the housing flag. On the housing flag, we are tied. However, GURPS has 1 more rover than me, so this one goes to GURPS. All right, GURPS, you got me on that one. Next, we're going to go to the food flag, and this one is GURPS has 2. I have 2, but GURPS has more rovers than I, so this one goes to GURPS. And it's going to be the same thing with the transportation. Actually, it has 3. I have 2. It just flat out wins that one. So GURPS came out pretty well on this round. Move this over. All right. So next, players earn hearts equal to the hearts placed on their cards. GURPS has 4. GURPS will earn 4 more points. There they are. I, on the other hand, have 5 hearts placed on this card, and I will get 5 more hearts. So here we go. There's my 5. We're going to switch these out to equal 10. And there we go. Now, one thing I did realize I just forgot to do is on my reputation card, I do get an X hearts for each flag reward you win during the scoring phase. So I'm going to get 2 hearts because that's the value of this era for each of those flags that I won. All right. So I won 2 flags. I won the industry flag, as you may recall, because of my Earth Portal, and I won the science flag straight out, right? I had 4, GURPS had 3, and that was it. So I'm going to get a total of 4 hearts because 2 for each one. And here is my 4. There we go. All right, next is going to remove one of these hearts from the board. It is now worth only 1 heart for era 3. All right, that is the end of the era scoring. We are now going to move back up to the turn display setup. All right, I have already completed the turn display setup. We have our 4 stacks for era 3 cards on there. We have our discard pile set up there. I have added the era 3 Valkyrie expansion structure cards on top of the launch board, and we are all set. We are now going to move to the production phase, and I'm going to go ahead and start from top to bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 2 hearts automatically thanks to my production card there, and then I get an energy token and a metal token, and that will take care of that. And I apologize if it starts to get out of the out of view there. I'll try to do my best here. Maybe put them up here. It'll be a little crowded. Apologize. All right, and then the next one is the 2 water tokens. So we've got 2 water tokens here, and mystery one we'll do with a biomass since we don't have that. We don't have any. And then another energy token, and finally 2 more of the metal tokens. Basically, we just flip this one over. And now we have 3 metal tokens, 2 energy tokens, and 1 biomass token. So we got some pretty good resources so far. Of course, GURPS gets none. All right, we're going to start with the turn phase. So as you may recall, we got our Valkyrie back for era 3. And over here, we have our 3 Valkyrie expansion structure cards. This is the Fossilator. Flip 3 hearts for each rover parked on structure cards in your settlement. So that's really good. This one is Space Dock. Score 1 heart for each production symbol in your settlement. That's really good. That's going to be 4 of those water tokens and 2 industry. I think I've got the industry. I'm covered there. And then the sub-city is simply 1 for every flag. So, or 1 heart for every flag. And that is, 5 of those. I've got 3 already of those metal tokens, so that might be doable. But I do need another house flag. I could probably use that Earth portal to get this. So that's what we are working with. All right. And as far as the reputation cards, have 2 or more yellow structure cards with 3 flags. I've got 1, so I just need 1 more. Have 9 or more yellow structure cards. I've got 3, 6, 6. I need 3 more. That's going to be very hard. I do need to have 2 identical gray structure cards, so I don't even have 1. So this one, this bombastic, seems a little bit easier to get right now. So let's go ahead and take our first turn. Let's see what we have. Mobile Expedition. You may park a rover on one of your own structure cards. That'll work out. So let's see what we can use. Right. I think we're going to go with the Vineyard because it's going to give me 9 points straight up. That's easy. And all I need is 2 energy tokens, which I have, and 2 biomass tokens. I only have 1. However, thanks to this Mobile Expedition, I can park a rover on one of my own structure cards. So I will go ahead and do that. We'll park it on this wild or question mark one, and we'll turn that into a biomass token. And here it is. We'll use these 2 biomass tokens to pay for this vineyard and the 2 energy tokens as well. And there we go. Now the vineyard is mine. I'm going to get 9 points at the end of the game. That's going to be helpful. That is the end of my turn. And now over to GURPS. All right, GURPS, what do you got? 1 food flag, all right. Just vehicles. So it's going to, let's go ahead and start with the Valkyrie. That's not good. Oh no. I hope it doesn't take the sub-city. I really like that one. I like the Fossilator as well. That's, 3 hearts for each rover parked on a structure card is I was planning on using some rovers, but we'll see. All right, so which one's it going to take? Oh, I'm sorry. The first thing we got to do is we got to park one of those Valkyrie uh, on here on the first available spot, and then we're going to roll the dice, see what it's going to take. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to take the middle one. It sure is going to take that space dock. It's probably, I mean, not any harder sub-city, but it's still pretty hard. 4 water tokens. So that one's gone, and now it is back to me, and I really need to think about maybe using my Valkyrie. However, it's going to be 3 biomass tokens. I need 2 more metal tokens, which I can get with the meteor magnet. All right, so let's go ahead and take our turn. Reckless Expedition, if you park a rover, it will be discarded at the end of your turn. I don't think I can afford to be discarding any rovers. So let's hope we don't need that. All right, I think we're going to go with the Space Sling because it has 3 transportation flags, and I only have 2, and GURPS has 3. I'd be beating GURPS on another flag, and it only requires a water token. I have the house, so let's go ahead and get that one. We'll go ahead and place that here. We'll pay our water token, and there we go. Now, it's not over because, as I mentioned just a minute ago, that meteor magnet, I'm going to flip this one over, and this one is going to give me 2 resources. Guess what 2 resources I'm going to get? I'm going to get 2 more metal tokens. All right, here are my 2 metal tokens. Now I have all 5 of my metal tokens ready to go and get that sub-city. So let's go ahead and pay for that sub-city, but I need to take the Valkyrie over there first. Valkyrie is going to get parked. Guess what? I'm going to get a rover as well. So here's my rover. I have another one here. I now have 4 to GURPS' 4. We're tied on rovers. And I'm going to go ahead and pay for this sub-city. Yeah. And that's going to go right here next to the vineyard. That's going to be perfect. I'm going to move these things around due to space constraint. All right. So now that we have that, all right, so now I just need to flip 2 more. I can get that other reputation card. Now we could get this one. We just got the 3rd flag. Now we have 2 cards with 3 flags on it. That is going to meet the requirement for the bombastic. Have 2 or more yellow structure cards with 3 flags. And it's going to say take hearts equal to the value of all your reputation cards. Well, I have 4 printed value, right? Take hearts equal to the value of all your reputation. My value is 4. So the bombastic is going to give me 4 hearts. And actually, it's not going to place it on the card. It's just going to give me the hearts. So here's my 4. And actually, I need to start flipping some of these to make some room. All right, I've got 41 points so far. So that's good. And let's do the same for GURPS. All right, GURPS has 40. I have 41. So far, so good as far as the hearts is concerned anyway. So that is going to end my turn. GURPS, let's see what you got. GURPS scores the printed value of your most valuable reputation card. Oh, wow. All right, GURPS, you are mean. So it's going to take, my most valuable reputation card is diversified. It has 3 value points on it, printed value. So here is the 3 hearts that GURPS just took from my reputation card. Now back to me. Next. And let's see what I got. Assimilate a structure card in your settlement to gain 3 hearts. It must be an unflipped card with no rovers or hearts on it. Not sure if I really need anything right now. At least not to the point that I need to lose anything. All right, let's move on. All right, we're going to go ahead and go with this one. It's going to give me 12 points, straight up points at the end of the game. That is just way too high for me to pass up. It is very expensive. However, I have one trick up my sleeve, and that is the embassy. The embassy says if you flip it, build your structure card for free this turn. Of course, the flag requirements still apply, but this is free. I knew this was going to come in handy for the Era 3 cards. I'm going to flip that. That is now pretty much free. I have the industry. I have the science. This one is mine. I'm going to get 12 points. Now I have 3 great cards in play, and that is going to end that part. All right, I think that's going to be pretty much it for me on this turn. I just need to flip one more. And now back to GURPS. Discard a random reputation. All right. Well, it is gold, so that's going to be Era 3. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of one of the gold reputation cards, and I'm really, really hoping it doesn't get rid of that invested, because I only need like 3 more yellow cards. I think I could still pull it off. Let's hope it doesn't get that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. It sure enough took the one I wanted. All right, I don't think I'll be able to get that. I'm very close to getting that. That gold card, a reputation card, is gone. Back to me, my last turn of this phase. All right, you may build structure cards with a discount of 1 resource. All right, that's not bad. I sure could buy something with 1 less resource. Let's see what we got. So we're just going to go with this Opera House and still try to work on working towards this Agridome. So we'll go ahead. That's 8 points. So that's not bad. So that's going to be 3 of these metal tokens gone, and 1 water token. The Opera House is now mine. And now, since I'm running out of room, I'm going to go ahead and just put one on top of the other. All right. And that is it for me. All right, back to GURPS. 1 science flag. Let's see, it has adjust vehicles. So we'll start with the Valkyrie. It will land here, and it will take this card. All right. And now the rovers. I have 4. GURPS has 4. We are tied. GURPS will get a rover from the general supply to its supply. It now has 5 rovers, beating me on the rovers, and now has another house and another science flag. Oh, he's getting me on those science flags. All right, we are now entering the acquisition phase. That means that GURPS is going to remove one of those stacks. The last card it played was this Specimen Hotel. And let's see what this one does. It's going to take the second stack. Fortunately, it wasn't the last stack, because that's the one I want, that Agridome. So this one is gone out of the game. And now it's going to remove a reputation card. Obviously, there's only 1 left. I don't have to worry about rolling any dice or anything like that. It has taken the synchronized. And I had a feeling I was going to get close to getting another great card. But that one's gone now. So the only thing I can work towards is now this creative. I've got 1 more flag I need to flip. And that's the end of the acquisition phase. Now we're going to move to the final turn phase. All right, it's going to be my turn, and let's see what we have. All right, Agridome. I don't know why I said it was in the 4th stack. It's actually in the 1st stack, but doesn't matter. Can't afford it anyway. All I got is 2 metal tokens. I should have invested a little bit more on production. Portal, maybe. Flip back a flipped structure card. That actually would work, because I can get that other resource. That might be a possibility. Yeah, let's go ahead and go with this, because if I flip this, I'll still be able to get the reputation card and not have to depend on the food court. So let's go ahead and get this one. I've got the 2 flags. We're good there. I'm going to go ahead and flip it now. By flipping it, I get to flip another one back. Oh, but if I flip another one back, I don't get the reputation card. I still got a little bit of time, though. Let's see which one. I think this is the one. Take 2 resources. That might be good, but I want this one because this one gives me free building. So, all right, we're back to square one, but at least we got a better, a little bit better card. So that's the end of our turn. We're going to go to GURPS. GURPS, what do you got? GURPS scores 1 heart for each flag type you don't have in your settlement. Okay, well, I have them all, so we're good. But it will get a transportation flag. Now it has 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 5. Actually, I'm still beating GURPS in the transportation flag. All right, back to my turn. Let's take a look and see what we have. Assimilate a structure card in your settlement to gain 3 hearts. It must be an unflipped card. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to purchase this. I can't afford to lose anything. So, and I'm running out of room, so I'm going to go ahead and place this over here in the corner. And let's see what we got. All right, I need to prepare for the next stack. I have a feeling we're going to get a chance to flip another one of these cards. So, oh, actually, I can use the embassy, and that'll be free. And this monument, 11 points. Can't beat that. Let's go ahead and get the monument. I'm going to flip that embassy. That'll get me my 3rd flip. And now I can get the reputation card, have 3 or more flipped pink structure cards, which I do, and you can flip one of your flipped structure cards and get 3 points. Can't beat that. Running out of room. So we're going to place it over here. And now I'm going to unflip a card. And of course, I'm going to go with this one because it will allow me to build for free. So that's a no-brainer. Thank you, reputation card. I knew it was going to be worth it. All right, that's the end of my turn. Back to GURPS. All right, GURPS, what do you got? All right, just vehicles. All right, start with the Valkyrie. And then we're going to go to the Rovers. I have 4. GURPS has 5. Guess what? GURPS needs to give me one of these Rovers. So thank you, GURPS. And it's going to be the top blue card. So that'll be here, my diner. And it's going to get another housing flag. I'm not even going to try with those housing flags. Got me there. All right, back to me. Here we go. And there's that agri-dome. I knew it was in here somewhere. Yeah, so let's start with this. You may build structure cards with a discount of 1 resource. Wow, I wish I had the obelisk. But this is not going to be as good because I can flip that embassy and not pay anything. And this agri-dome is going to give me some points because of the food court. That's why I wanted it so bad. These other ones may not be as good. So let's go ahead and go with this agri-dome. I'm going to flip my embassy. Oh, but if I flip the embassy, I can't use the food court to get points. That's not good. Come back here, Frugal Expedition. You build 1 structure, so 1 discount. Well, I can discount 1, but I don't have enough. Wow. Okay. So which one would I prefer? Do I prefer 3 points, because that's all it would have given me since it's X is 1. Or, let's see, this one. 1 heart per blue structure card. I've got tons. So let's go ahead and use this one. So it's a discount of 1, doesn't matter. I'm going to use the embassy. We'll flip this one. And that is free. I have my 2 industry flags. And we'll place that here. And there we go. That is the end of my turn for the game. Put this here. And now over to GURPS. All right, GURPS, what you got? GURPS, place 1 heart on each flag. GURPS is currently winning. Okay, so we're going to place. We're not going to gain. So we're going to place a heart on each of the flags it's winning. Now, it is winning on some of these flags, but I'm winning in Rovers. So any ties, GURPS isn't going to get it. So let's see. Basically beating me on almost all the flags except the transportation flag. I believe I've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, GURPS took advantage of it. I have no more turns. I can't try to beat it on the flags. That last card, whoops, that last card, it's almost like GURPS knew. It had to throw that last great move on me. All right, that pretty much ends the game. Thank you so much for staying this far. We're going to go ahead and move now to the final um, final end of era scoring. So let's go ahead and do that next. So we know GURPS has pretty much beat me on all of these flags. We just did that drill. So it'll get all these hearts except for the transportation flag. That'll be mine. I'm glad that GURPS didn't add anything more to those hearts. And then it's going to earn some hearts based on these placed on the base. So that's 4 more points or 4 more hearts for GURPS. Add one of these. There's 4, and I've got 5. So I'll get 5 hearts off of this one. That's pretty much the end of era scoring, and that's pretty much the game. So now we're gonna, if you just flip to this chapter of my presentation, that's okay. There are some things that we went through that would kind of help you, but nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and move to tallying up the points, and we'll come back and get the totals. This is the scoring, the total scoring part of the presentation. What I did was, these hearts here represent the actual hearts that I got during the game. I got 51 hearts, and based on the printed value of all of my cards, well, really it was these, right? The gray cards. I didn't count these hearts because these hearts were already counted during the end of era scoring 3 times, right? We get 3 eras, so you would score these 3 times if you had them on the cards, of course. So I didn't count those, but I did count the printed value of the cards and these as well. Now, I'm not sure about this one. I assume, and it's probably somewhere I just missed it, that this counts as another flag. For this one, let's see, right here. See the subcity? It says score 1 heart for each flag in your settlement. Well, this is in my settlement along with my base. So I counted both of these flags. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. That's 2 points right there. So if I count all of that up, I actually ended up with 70. So I have a total of 121 points for the end of the game. Now, over to GURPS. I basically, throughout the game, GURPS scored 71 points, right? And all of the printed value, GURPS scored 74. So I did not count the 4. That's why I separated them here in the corner. I didn't count these 4. Those were on top of GURPS card. Again, GURPS already scored those during the end of era scoring for all 3 eras. So, or for the eras that he had the hearts on the cards. So those were not counted. But I simply, just to make it easier for us to look at, this is what GURPS scored based on just the printed value. That is 74 points. So GURPS has 145 points. So GURPS beat me by quite a few points. And I have a feeling that it was probably mainly to do with the fact that GURPS started with flags much earlier than he normally does. Normally, it's pretty balanced out, but my luck, especially during this presentation, I noticed that a lot of the cards that were coming out early were flags, and it was hard for me to keep up. So there's going to be games like that. You just got to learn how to pivot. I don't think I pivoted enough on the flags. I tried to tried to get fancy on the pink cards, and tried to get caught up on the Valkyrie expansion structure cards as well. I think I missed one there. I didn't gather enough resources to be ready for those big cards when it came out. So a lot of things there that I could have done better. I'm still learning, but overall, love the game. And I'll have some final thoughts on top of this in the next segment. Okay, so the expansion brings in another layer of challenges that I really enjoy, and this expansion expands on the structure cards and its abilities, along with some added reputation cards. And I don't think I played with any on this game, but they are still really, really good. And the components for this expansion are solid. I really love the Valkyries. They are pleasant to play with. The launch board looks really amazing as well, with the rewards and everything. Now, as for the gameplay, one of the small concerns I had with the base game was that some of the Era 3 structure cards were just not difficult enough to gain or when you're purchasing. At least most of the ones I played with, and this expansion fortunately brings in those structure cards that are not only very enticing to purchase in the sense that they bring in more opportunities for scoring and especially early in the game as well, but they are also very expensive, and I just really appreciate that. I love how this expansion allows you to build structure cards through the use of your Valkyrie, and it doesn't even count towards your regular action. Now, it does add to some analysis paralysis because you're not just thinking about the structure cards and the reputation cards, but now you're also thinking about the expansion deck as well. And you can easily miss opportunity because there is just so much more to think about. But of course, you will also be able to take your time. Obviously, you're not having to film and play like I was, so it's a little bit more, more tense when you're trying to think quickly and you're missing opportunities. I will say that for the solo mode, it brings in more depth and tension, especially because you have to move your Valkyrie before GURPS gets to them. So I like that level of challenge. Although there is a limited amount of Valkyrie actions in the sense that GURPS still moves its pieces regardless of whether you are playing your Valkyrie or not. So once you take your bonus and or your structure card, the Valkyrie moves that GURPS takes are no longer important. Instead, they just become one more thing that you have to think about as you're managing the Anima. So I would have preferred that it have just one Valkyrie, just like myself, and then we can just each race for that one bonus. Like it would have been amazing to have a solo Valkyrie launch board on the other side of the board, where you only get one bonus and two structure cards. You still get a structure card, just might not be the one you want, and maybe the reward could have been any of your choice, for example, right? But anyway, just throwing out ideas out there. But part of the game, at least from the solo perspective, could have been better designed. It seems like the designer was trying to make up for the player count, when sometimes you just have to accommodate the gameplay or sacrifice the original parts of the original gameplay for the sake of the solo mode quality. But overall, like I said, this expansion does the job. I really enjoyed it, and I can't imagine wanting to play Moon without it again. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Next, I'm going to move over to the sleeves that I got that were distributed by Sinister Fish, and I'm going to share I'm going to share these with you here in the next segment. Thanks. All right, as I mentioned, I just got the Moon card sleeves. I didn't back the game. This was just something that was sold separately. I happened to purchase it. I wanted to see, how well they would fit, how well they feel. I played with them around. They feel amazing. You could tell they are thick. They are, they're premium, right? Really, really well made. A lot of room, a lot of space for the card itself. And even with the spacing, as you can see, it fits really, really well in the box. So let's go ahead and place the other boxes on here. Let's see if I can even. So there's a couple there. Actually, sorry. Let's do that again. All right. There we go. And there you go. So let's put them all on one side. Let's see if they'll pass the test. We're going to put the boards on this side. I'll put the other one on the other side. See if that'll fit. Yep, that fit just perfectly. And then let's put the box. I don't like to put the rule book. Yeah, it's too tight. All right, here's the top. And these were all extra sleeves. So there's a lot of extra sleeves here. Maybe if they have some promos, or maybe if one of the sleeves busts, but I don't see me using these sleeves anytime soon, so I'm not going to put those in the box. I'll probably put them in a storage somewhere. Now, I did want to mention, I talked about this in the first video I did of Moon. These are the foils. Now, obviously, I wasn't going to play with the foil cards because they're, it's just too much. It's too dizzying to put on video, but they're great. But I noticed that the sleeves didn't cover those. That's probably because you want to choose. Either you're going to play with these or you're going to play with a normal Valkyrie expansion structure cards. They're the same cards, they just look differently. So you would have to make a choice which ones you need, and that makes sense. And I wasn't going to put these in the box. I'm probably not going to play with these, just preference, personal preference. But I wouldn't recommend trying to. They may be able to fit, but I think it would just be way too tight. Yeah, I mean, it'll fit, but it'll be real tight. But I'm probably just gonna put, along with the sleeves, I'll probably just put them in this box and then put them away in storage for any other purpose or reason, or maybe I want to show off to some friends the foil kind. But other than that, yeah, let's see. Everything should fit just fine. Let's see, and there you go. So and this spacing is normal. That's how it's supposed to be. But as you can see with the sleeves, it fits. It fits fine. All right, and that, my friends, is Moon, and the sleeves for Moon. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I appreciate it. Hope to see you on another board game adventure. Until then, have a great time with this one.